There are a lot of unique weapons in Fallout 4 across the base game and all of its DLCs. While some of them are handed over to you pretty easily, there are a few that you are very unlikely to just stumble across. So in this video, I will be showing you 10 secret weapons that you can find in Fallout 4. So first up on this list is a weapon that you can very easily miss, as the only indication of this weapon's location will happen very briefly shortly after reaching level 20. Once you reach level 20, you will want to keep playing for a couple minutes, then work your way to the Oberlin station. To the east of this location, you will find a crashed UFO. If this UFO is not here when you get here, leave the area and come back a little later. Near that UFO, you will find a trail of green blood that will lead you to a cave. And inside of that cave you will find a wounded alien that will attack you on sight. If you kill this alien, you will be able to loot the alien blaster from it, and this is the only place that this weapon can come from. The reason this weapon is on this list is due to the fact that you would only know to come here if you physically see the UFO crashing. And because of the chaotic nature of the game, you could be distracted when this happens, or you could have walked away from your game and it happens while you're gone. Personally, I played Fallout 4 3 times when it released, and I just found this weapon for the first time. But this weapon will be very strong and it's a lot of fun to use, but the only downside to it is that it requires alien blaster ammo, which is rare and vendors won't sell it. But when you run out of ammo, you can modify the alien blaster to use a different ammo type. Next up, we have a weapon that you can only obtain if you kill a main character in the campaign, which most people wouldn't think to do. For this, you will need to go to the bottom left of the map and enter the rocky cave. And in this cave you will find Virgil. There will be some story elements that require Virgil, but once you complete the game, you can return to this cave and kill or pickpocket Virgil. If you do this, you will get Virgil's Rifle. This will come with a perk that will make the weapon do 50% more damage to super mutants, which can be very helpful. But just make sure that you use Virgil to progress further into the story before you do this. Speaking of finishing the game, there is another secret weapon tied to completing the game with the Brotherhood of Steel ending if you make one small choice. During the Brotherhood of Steel path, you will encounter Sean, who can be rescued from the Institute. If you decide to do this, he will show up on the Rodwenn ship and you can talk to him to recruit him to one of your settlements. If you do this and then go to the settlement that he is at, he will have an unmarked secret quest where you will need to bring him 3 different items. Now the items he will ask for will be randomly picked from a list of 7 items, which will be the alarm clock, biometric scanner, camera, hot plate, microscope, telephone, and vacuum tube. These can be found all over the game, so you shouldn't have too much of an issue finding them. So talk to Sean to get the first quest, then deliver him that item, then find somewhere to sit and wait for 24 hours, then you can talk to him again and repeat this process 3 more times to get the Wazer Rifle, which will be a legendary version of the laser rifle with the never-ending perk that makes it so you will never need to reload this weapon. Again, this is something that I never knew about because I would never rescue Sean during my Brotherhood of Steel playthroughs. Side note, if you play through the game and get the Brotherhood of Steel ending, you can return to the vendor on the Rodwenn ship and he will be selling the Sentinel's Plasma Caster. The perk on this weapon doubles the damage dealt by the weapon if the target is at full health. But this will only be available after earning the Brotherhood of Steel ending and reaching the Sentinel rank. The 5th weapon in this list can only be obtained from a rare named merchant that can spawn in 3 places, which will be outside of Vault 81, outside of Diamond City, and outside of Warwick Homestead. The vendor you will be looking for will be named Cricket, and she will be selling the Spray and Pray SMG. This SMG will have a 100 round mag, a suppressor, and the perk on it makes each round explode on contact, dealing an extra 15 damage to all nearby enemies, making this a great weapon for wiping out groups of enemies or melting single targets. And this is another weapon that you could just entirely miss if you aren't looking out for this vendor in these specific areas. Kems Tooth is another one of those secret weapons that can be found in an area that you really don't have much reason to be in, which will be the Dunwich Borers area. If you go here and work your way down into the mining quarry and go through the tunnels, you will find a hole in the ground filled with water. Hop in and swim down to grab Kems Tooth, which will be a very powerful melee weapon that deals both bleed and poison damage. On the east coast of the map, you will find another secret weapon in the captain's cabin of Libertalia. It will be on the top of this building built into the ship. Once you reach this area, you will find the Lusil Terrible shotgun, and this thing can do some serious damage to anything you hit with it, and the perk on it increases its damage by 25% but adds much more recoil. After this, you can make your way to the pump house, which will be right here on your map. When you get here, head inside and you will find these 4 buttons that you can press to input a code to unlock a door. The correct code will be 10451. After you put in the correct code, the door will open and lead you to a chest, a fusion core, and on the ground you will find the gainer. The perk on this weapon will make each shot fired ignite the target and deal 15 extra damage. After this, you can leave the pump house and go to the left to Sagus Ironworks. Once you are here, make your way to the blast furnace, and here you will face off against a named enemy called Slag. If you take him down, you will be able to loot the Shish Kebab melee weapon off of him, which you can modify to turn into a really good weapon. And finally, if we make our way south to the Jamaica Plain, you can go to the City Hall building and make your way to the basement. After some lockpicking and hacking, you will unlock an office, and inside of this office you will find the 2076 World Series baseball bat. This is a very fun weapon to use, as it will have a chance to send any enemy you hit with it flying through the air. And those are 10 secret weapons that you may not have known about in Fallout 4, but if you know of some other secret weapons, feel free to mention them in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.